43 of the 50 states provide executive mansions for their governors. America's executive mansions are a symbol of stability and leadership. This is Inside America's Executive Mansions, and this is South Carolina. Built in 1855, the South Carolina Governor's Mansion has stood at the crest of Arsenal Hill, overlooking downtown Columbia for 150 years. Built originally to serve as officers' quarters for the Arsenal Military Academy, the mansion today stands as a symbol of the grace and imperishable spirit of the antebellum South. It fulfills a vital role as both an official home of the state's first family and as an impressive setting for state social functions. As visitors walk through the high-ceiling rooms, a bit of South Carolina history greets them at every turn. First Lady Mrs. Mark Sanford.
When people come here for the first time, it's wonderful to see their reaction. Most people have either never been here before or have not been here in a number of years, and so they have not seen the renovations. And they usually are really awed by how nice the house looks. There are many artifacts and things, but they usually are in awe of how grand it is, how beautiful it is, and really how well cared for it is.
The first floor of the mansion includes a large formal drawing room, a library, a small parlor, and 2 dining rooms. The governor's mansion is a repository of treasures representing the heritage of the Palmetto State. The signature piece of the large drawing room is the carved white mantle. Elegantly touched up with gold, the mantle features the state seals of South Carolina. The small parlor features the oldest paintings in the mansion. The portraits were painted by Henrietta Deering Johnston, who is believed to be America's first pastel artist. She made her living painting the women of Columbia's elite. This parlor also features a Victorian petticoat table. Mansion curator Nancy Bunch.
Beneath the portraits is a pier or petticoat table which dates to 1840. This is a Victorian-style table. And if you have been on a tour of an old Southern home, you have probably seen a table such as this, and you were probably told that ladies long ago would walk in front of it to see if their petticoat was showing. This is not an accurate story, though it sounds good. The mirrors beneath the table were actually used to reflect light in dimly lit rooms.
The state dining room features the silver service from the battleship USS South Carolina. There are 66 pieces in all, each a work of art depicting native fruit, flowers, and foliage. The punch bowl, holding 7 gallons, has dolphin handles and a flat chasing of the battleship on the front. The state dining room also features a handsome new table and chairs made by Columbia furniture maker Michael Craig. Made of mahogany, the table and chairs were designed especially for the state dining room. At its longest extension, the table will set 22 comfortably.
In the Hall of Governors, we have a marble floor which came from the State House. It was removed from the State House during the renovation and added to the mansion. One of the busts in the Hall of Governors is of Abra Blackwood, who was a governor in the late 30s. Blackwood was known for his deed one Christmas Eve in the mansion. He invited all of the inmates who worked in the house to come into the large drawing room and gather around the Christmas tree. Hanging on the tree were envelopes, and as each looked for his name and took his envelope, they read that it was their pardon.
Decorating the walls in the Palmetto dining room is 19th century wallpaper depicting scenes of North America from Frenchman Jean Zuber's point of view. Mrs. John F. Kennedy used the same wallpaper in decorating the White House.
My favorite room in this house is the Palmetto dining room. One, it's a very sunny room with the atrium next door, and it has that beautiful wallpaper. But the other reason I like it is because it's close to the kitchen, and it's easier for the boys to bring their dishes in and out when they help in the kitchen.
Less formal than the 2 drawing rooms, the library contains several reminders of South Carolina's history, including a gilded American Federal-style convex mirror, 2 oyster plates that were made for U.S. President Rutherford B. Hayes, and Joseph Harley's silver and brass sword.
On the mantelpiece, we have a sword which belonged to Governor Joseph Harley. It was his Spanish-American dress sword. Governor Harley is the governor who spent the least amount of time in office. He was only a governor for 4 months before he passed away. He was also the only governor to pass away in the mansion and to lie in state in the mansion.
The private quarters of the mansion feature guest rooms, each one named after a member of the South Carolina delegation. Named for Thomas Lynch, Jr., this room contains reminders of South Carolina's agriculture. The bedposts are carved with representations of the rice plant. Named for Arthur Middleton, this room features an English Sheridan-style reading table. Because of its lightweight design, the desk would often be moved around the house to suit the user.
Governor and Mrs. Mark Sanford, of course, live in the mansion now, and they have 4 sons. They have taken great care of the mansion. The boys are all over. They are not restricted to their own quarters. But their favorite place, I think, is outside. We have a large lawn area where they love to play soccer and other sports, where their dogs love to run. I have seen little Sanfords in the fountains before. They are real outdoor people, and I think I'll always remember the Sanfords when I look over those lawns.
The grounds are as detailed as the mansion itself, including vast lawns, numerous fountains, herb and formal gardens. There are vast walkways that host numerous trees, plants, and flowers. The grounds feature highlights of iron, including the palmetto gates and a handsome fence that surrounds the grounds.
The gardens are exquisite. There's just constantly, thousands of daffodils in the spring and then roses in the summer.
Historically, the governor's mansion has undergone numerous remodeling projects within the past 132 years. The completed renovation in 2001 is the most extensive ever to occur. South Carolinians can be proud of a governor's residence abounding with Southern elegance. For more information on this program, contact Thomas B. Hunt or Kelly L. Paget at 919-342-4608.